Welcome to the Stay or Go podcast. It's been a minute since I've done this, so apologies in advance if I sound a little amateur. I have someone here today who I just met today, so we're going to learn a lot about him together, guys. Who are you?
Hello, I'm Linz Prag.
Linz Prag.
So, producer, musician, engineer, all that cool stuff. So, yeah.
Very cool stuff. A lot of my guests are those things because my connect of my producer, Charles Infamous, here. So, first question there. How did you guys connect? I have no idea, to be honest.
Man, we were... shout out to Debbie. We did the Cook Cabin.
Oh, okay.
The first one.
Yeah, it was the first one. So,
I had no idea.
I feel like we should have, some kind of, anniversary shirt.
Like an OG.
Yeah, we are the
cookout.
ones. We were the first there, and it was, an experience because I don't like elevation changes, and my ears pop a lot. So when I heard it was, in a cabin in this place I've never been, my anxiety was kind of kicking in a little bit, and I'm like... I have to either wear AirPods that noise cancellate, or I have to wear the earplanes to put in my ears because I do not like when my ears pop.
Okay.
So basically, we went there. We drove up this crazy, oh my god, it was a crazy
swervy hill.
Yeah, and there was there was a point we got up there, and I looked over, and it was dude, if I open this door, I'd probably fall off. But nevertheless, it was definitely an awesome experience, and shout out to everyone there. It was great. So I heard some music downstairs because I was on the upper level making some music, and I heard some music, and I was like, I want to see what's going on. So then I saw Charles.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like you immediately hopped on a song.
It was, dude, and when I heard, I was like, dude, the way, the energy, I was like, yo, it's popping down here.
I want to go downstairs.
I'm trying to see what's happening, and the energy was just on that level. It was just a vibe, and I was like, dude, I want to jump on this. Can is it cool if I just get on this record? Yeah. And I was listening to everyone's verse, and I was like, dude, I know I got something for this. Okay, all right, let's go. So at that time, I was going by Cam Hertz.
Okay, and that's why I was like, I was confused. You told me that was your name.
Yeah, that was my other alias, and I did a side project with that.
Okay.
And it's here and there, so I'm just more focused on the producer stuff. But when we reconnected, it was at the show where Truant had got. It was a show in Atlanta, and I had performed at that show too. It was dope.
You were there.
Or is this the one where Truant got the chains?
Yeah.
I saw you doing that. I was like, those.
Yeah, he got the chains. Yeah,
the guy putting it on. Yeah. I'm like, you look familiar, but I couldn't remember because it was months and months ago now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was. I saw Charles, and I was like, dude. Are you coming? Are you down here to visit? And he was like, nah, dude, I live here. I was like, wait.
Yeah.
You live here? And he's like, yeah, dude, I've been living here for... I was like, wait.
He never lets people know what he's up to.
He's like me, dude. It's kind of recluse, kind of mysterious.
Which is good.
That's how I am. I'm like...
Yeah. You're not shouting out, hey, everybody, I'm in Atlanta. Come find my house.
Yeah, dude. And that's a good thing.
It is a good thing to not do that.
When I heard that, I was super stoked about it because I was like, dude, we can actually work again. Because it's you meet people, and it was kind of even though the Cook Cabin was there, it was kind of in a passing type of thing. Hey, what's up? You make music? Me too. Cool. All right, move on.
Right.
So I was just like, all right, dude, you're here now. You live kind of in the same vicinity. Let's make some music, and then we exchanged numbers, and then we linked back up, and it was I'm just 15 minutes down the road, dude. It's yo, we gotta really cook.
Yeah.
So,
and I apologize that you're doing the podcast first before cooking music together.
No. It's all good,
Good. Okay.
And the funny thing about that is when he came over to my crib, he had his keyboard and everything, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna make some crazy material tonight, and we just ended up having the dopest conversation. Like,
that's my man.
I was just like, yo, like we just like, it was just the most authentic like convo I've had in like years.
That's a huge compliment, because I'll complain about
yeah.
him talking at me for so long.
Like we were just talking, we were like bouncing back off of the experiences and like the things we went through, like health wise and like music wise. It was just like, yo, like
the ups and downs.
We're here, bro. Like there's no upping each other. Like I feel like everyone's always trying to up each other.
Competition.
And it's like, dude, it's just like, dude, let's just all keep it on a cool level. And that's what we did, dude. And it was just like, I needed that.
Good.
You know?
When was that?
And I'm gonna say that was like maybe like 2 months ago. Maybe
before the holidays.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know. So and when I heard that this was gonna become like a thing with the pod, I was like, yo, like I'm definitely down to be on it, man, because it sounds awesome. And then I started seeing like the clips floating around, and it's just what this is. It's just, you know, how it's growing and what it's turning into. It's awesome. You know, and I'm happy to be here. So.
Just met you, and I love you already. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you for those compliments to my man and to myself, and I'm excited for our conversation today.
Absolutely.
So, let's get into it. Is this your first ever podcast you've ever been on?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've been on quite a few different
podcasts. So you're good. You're like, I'm not an amateur like others are. While I'm taking my first sip of water, I need to make an announcement to the people who are true fans since day one. I have a new water bottle today. It is not the purple, what did you call it before? Tumbler that is too big for a cup holder. It fits in a cup holder, and the reason I'm not using that tumbler anymore is because on our drive home from Atlanta to Pennsylvania for Christmas, I was almost hit by a car, literally just merging toward me.
Oh, man.
I was not in the wrong. Nate usually would say if I was in the wrong, I was not. And so I slammed on the brakes, and my water bottle is like at the cup holder, but it obviously doesn't fit in the cup holder. And so it slammed forward, and it put my car into neutral. And I thought that, I didn't notice it at first. And so I was like, Nate, I'm stepping on the gas and nothing's happening. And he's like, oh, I don't know, pull over. So I pulled over, and I'm looking. I'm like, what's wrong?
She's flooring it. Just revving that.
Oh, my God.
So bad. Dude. I look down. I'm like, oh, my God. My water bottle put it into neutral.
Imagine if it put it in reverse.
Imagine if it went into reverse or park in the middle of the highway.
Going like 70.
So,
put it in the park.
Oh, my
I learned my lesson. Nathan 1, Jenna and her water bottle 0. So now that's in Pennsylvania, and I just have this. So I'm going to take a sip of water now, and we're going to move on. Okay. So thank you for that little side note. Okay. So have you been in Atlanta your whole life? I think I heard you saying that you moved here as well.
I moved here.
Okay.
You know, I've been here since, I want to say, 2014.
Okay.
You know, I moved here from Charlottesville, Virginia.
Okay.
You know, that's my hometown. And, you know, it's definitely been an experience, you know, moving to Georgia. Mm-hmm. Because I moved here from Charlottesville, and I moved to Marietta first.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool. You know, I didn't really know anyone. Mm-hmm. So at the time, me and my roommate were going to the city, and I didn't really have anxiety like that. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I guess it's like this overwhelming feeling because coming from Charlottesville is like a really small town.
I was gonna say it sounds like one because I haven't heard of it before.
Charlottesville was put on the map for the wrong reasons because you know they had the whole riots and stuff there. Okay. So you know it's just you know, really moving from a small town to like a big city. Like we went into the city. Mm-hmm. Because moving down here, me and my uncle, we moved out of my apartment and we put all of my stuff in this tarp, which was like, we should have just rented a U-Haul.
Yep.
But my grandfather, shout out to Grandpops, you know, he was like, why don't y'all just put this stuff on the trunk and just put some bungee cords and
that's what Nate and his family would do.
You know, so I was like, on my Mustang, is it going to, like, you know, this is an anniversary edition, you know, fire red Mustang. This is like my baby, like 5-speed, 10 interior. Like, dude, you know, everyone was giving me crap because it was a V6 and not a V8. I'm like, it's still a muscle car. Yeah. So I'm like,
nothing about cars,
you know, I'm just like, you know, in my, I know I was like, but I'm just in my car and me and my uncle, we get it all hooked up and it looks crazy. I'm like, are we going to get pulled over? He's like, no, we'll be all right.
Oh, no.
So we start driving and I'm like, should we pull over like every hour just to check? He's like, if we pull over every hour we check, you don't know what you might have dropped on the highway or left. And I'm sure you would know. I had my computer chair on top. I had my TVs in the back, my computer, PC stuff in the back. It was just a lot of stuff. My clothes. I had to have all of my Jordans in the trunk, you know, make sure all that stuff was safe. But as we were coming down, we came down like a back way to where we went around the city. Mm-hmm. So when me and my roommate, you know, went out to the city for the first time to venture, it was very overwhelming for me. Like, I had a very bad anxiety attack. Like, my heart was racing, my throat got tight. I was like, dude, I don't know what I'm feeling right now, but, like, all these buildings are just, like, really tall. There's, like, a lot of things going on right now. He's like, dude, like, you want to go to, like, you know, the cafe here? And I was like, dude, I don't know, man. I started, like, bugging in the PT Cruiser. I was like, yo, like, I don't know if it's because we drove the PT Cruiser or I should have drove the Mustang. Dude, I don't know what it is, but I'm bugging, dude, and I need to chill. So, like, it was definitely an experience to witness Atlanta like that for the first time.
Yeah.
So.
And how'd you pick here?
So, you know, I had got sick, and you know, once I got better, me and my roommate, we had said we're gonna move to a state where we can try and thrive in music, because he was an R&B singer. Like we haven't crossed paths in quite a few years. We had a kind of a falling out.
Yeah,
that's another topic or whatever. So you know, we just decided to flip a coin. We flipped a coin.
Oh, that's
and
fun.
One was going to be, you know, if it landed on heads, it was Atlanta. Land on tails is New York.
Okay.
So, you see where I'm at.
But that's fun. You know, I think that's like adventurous and, you know, spontaneous.
You know, it was definitely, you know, I was like, I kind of hope it lands on Atlanta because, you know, one, the cost of living is a lot cheaper. And, you know, I feel like a lot of my friends that, you know, have moved, that are down here now, some videographers, some other producers, graphic designers, you know, I've encouraged them, you know, to move here because they're from Virginia as well, you know, and it was just like, just awesome to, you know, do that. So it was just like, dude,
yeah,
here we are, you know, so.
And are you happy with your decision?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good.
You know, I wouldn't change it for the world. You know,
awesome.
It was just, shout out to Atlanta.
Shout out Atlanta.
Yeah, man. For sure.
Okay. So then you were saying that you wanted to move somewhere to thrive in music. So obviously where you're from in Virginia is not a very big music area, or...
I wouldn't say Virginia because we all know, like, Clips and Timberland.
Right. Your
Charlottesville.
Right.
I will say Charlottesville.
Charlottesville is not.
But Dave Matthews Band's from Charlottesville.
Oh. Well, they're pretty poppin'.
Yeah.
I'm sure we all know who Dave Matthews is.
Yeah.
So they are. So, you know, I will say that the music scene in Charlottesville is good. But not for hip-hop or urban music.
Right.
But if you play rock, metal, blues, jazz, or folk or country,
you're good.
It's perfect. And I did those things.
Oh, you did?
Because I play guitar, and I was in high school. I was in Battle of the Bands. We won Battle of the Bands.
Oh, wow.
At the time, I was trying to impress this girl with the intentions to win. I was just trying to impress some girl.
Yeah.
Until I went to your studio.
Yeah,
I saw all the guitars, and I was like,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I've been playing guitar for a long time, and self-taught.
I was
my
gonna ask.
grandfather, he got me my first acoustic for Christmas. It was right-handed. I'm left-handed. I play this way, this orientation. Usually they, will tell you, oh, since you're left-handed, you got to play this way. But it doesn't feel right this way. So I'm going to play this way,
just
like Jimi Hendrix.
Feels good, yeah.
That's what I'm going to look at in Kurt Cobain, because those people play this way. Mm-hmm. So there's got to be a guitar that they make, and he was like, well, I don't know what to do, son. He calls me son. So I'm like, all right. So I restring it, not knowing anything. I didn't know how to tune it to E. I didn't know anything. So I just started figuring this stuff out, and then I got a tuner, and I was looking up books and stuff, and they told you EAGBE, So I just was like, all right. So how I learned how to tune was Ed ate dirt, goodbye Ed. So that's how I learned how to tune guitar.
Ed ate dirt, goodbye Ed.
Yeah.
If you eat too much dirt, you're gonna die.
George Bush drives fast.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. See, I was in band from 10th grade to 12th grade, so I was faking it till I made it. I was way too far behind. So I really just did it for the field trips that they got senior year.
Yeah.
So, but I respect. I'm not saying that this band is weird. I loved it, and I wish I did it earlier. And I respect everybody that could play one instrument, multiple instruments, can sing, can dance. I'm all for the arts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it. So getting into that, I guess random. Did you ever do? So I'm assuming you said were you in a marching band or concert band?
No, I was in rock bands.
That's saying outside of school.
Oh yeah, so during high school, I was in a rock band.
That's cool.
So from 9th grade to 12th grade, I was in different bands, and then so that means after doing homework, I was going to band practice. And playing in clubs underage.
Wow. No, that was the thing.
And we're in these clubs, these bars and stuff, and people are drunk, and I'm supposed to be asleep by now.
Right.
But we're out raging, and I'm rocking out, and we're playing covers, and we're playing Blue Oyster Cult and all of this stuff, and just all of these covers and stuff, and we got singers and stuff, and they're bringing us pitchers of beer, and I'm not drinking, dude. I'm like, dude, I gotta go to school in the morning.
Yeah.
So
did you look older than you were? Did people mistake
No, I had a baby face. I didn't have any hair on my face.
Yeah. They were
my
just
mom,
you're doing a good job. Here you go.
They're I always used to wear these snapbacks, and it said I love haters. It was always the skater snapbacks, and I wore the suit, and I wore, and I had, tailored them. I would marker them up, make them look ragey and really edgy. I put spikes in them, and it was on that phase. So, and I did that, and it was just yo, who is this kid playing his music and just going crazy on stage? And it was just a different time. And to circle back with Dave Matthews, my grandfather, Boyd Tinsley, who's the violinist for Dave Matthews, he did, and Dale Earnhardt, God rest his soul, he did the carpentry in both of their yachts.
Oh, wow.
And houses. So
fancy. Your grandfather, you say?
Yeah, my grandfather.
Wow.
And so he told Boyd Tinsley, he's like, hey, my grandson, he plays guitar, and he does all. He was like, hey, bring him by the studio. Wow. So I got to meet him in Dave Matthews Band, and that was cool.
So cool.
It was a cool experience, and it really made me, and I just soaked it all in, and I was like, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Or like Arnold Schwarzenegger will always say in Jingle All the Way, he'd be like, "This is really cool," with the Turbo Man. Dude, nah. But the experience was just epic,
That is
and
epic.
so like just being able to meet famous musicians like that.
Right. And at such a young age when you're in high school.
High school, so once I got to about the 12th grade, I was phasing out like with the bands and stuff, and I was like more into like partying. I was so I was rocking like oh my god. So I was rocking like I told my mom, she'd be like, "So all right, we're gonna update your wardrobe." She would want to update the wardrobe every
Good
week.
mom. Good mom.
Yeah, shout out to moms.
Yeah.
She was like, "So what do you want to get?" And usually she knows I would rock like like Jordans or like different types of stuff. So I said, I want a Columbia jacket. I want a North Face fleece. And I want some like, I want, I want like, I want some polo shirts. She was like, okay. So her definition of polo shirts were like, like USPA polo. And there's nothing against that. But I was like, no, I want the one with the tiny horse and like, it doesn't have anything else on there. Just a tiny horse. Yeah. I need the pink one
logo.
with the green horse on it, the yellow one with the blue horse on it. And I want to wear two at the same time and pop the collar. And she's like, do you think you're going to Ivy League? What are you doing? So I'm like, that's just what it was.
For the parties.
For
you
the parties.
Need to change
so I'm
wardrobe.
popping my collar and ironing them, and they're creased up real nice, dude. They're like, they're sharp. You could probably cut an orange on them, dude.
Do you still own one?
No.
Exactly.
Was it, 1 year and then gone?
It was a time, dude, like, it was a thing, like, I was wearing flip-flops. I would go into, and I had, like, all of this stuff. And we'd be at the parties, and this was 12th grade year, so everyone's deciding where they're going to college and all this stuff, and like,
life decisions,
all this stuff, and they're like, we're partying, and we're going to like friends' pool house and partying, and like we're pulling up, and they're like, "Yo, Zoe, what's up, bro?" And I'm like, "Yo, dude, what's up, man? Let's, who's got the Paps, And I'm like, I got the Pabst Blue Ribbon, bro. My friend Mark, shout out to Mark. He used to get us the cases, dude. We'd have the cases of Pabst. We'd be shotgunning the beers, bro. I couldn't do it that good, dude, but I would try. And I was like, damn it, dude, I got beer all over my polo, bro.
Jenna doesn't shotgun.
I've literally never shotgun a beer ever.
I'm going to tell you, that was definitely a different experience and part of my life. So it was awesome though. So
yeah, never.
They knew me.
Don't regret is what I'm trying to say. I just like had a. Wow, I can't. I'm having a stroke. And words are not coming out of my mouth. I'm gonna stop. Okay, so you started playing music obviously when you were really young because you started on the guitar first. Is that?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, when in the 8th grade. Before going into the 9th grade, I was writing poetry at the time because what, caused that was because my dad lived in New Jersey, in Newark, New Jersey, and I never got to see him like talking about. So when he passed, it really made me upset because I was like an elite wide receiver in football, and I mean, it was like they had scouts watching me.
In 8th grade?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I moved to and like I was playing JV and then they moved me to varsity in that in 8th grade. And I mean,
you don't hear of that.
I was
ever.
I was CD Lambing. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I was on my CD Lamb-ish. So like it's just like, dude, when I found out he passed, I was just like, dude, he never got to come to a game. And on my last game, I went in a game and I caught the pass and I was running And I looked to the stand, and I stopped, and I dropped the ball and walked off the field, dude.
Whoa, that's like
in the middle, because dude,
shit.
the mindset, like my dad wasn't going to be there ever again, and I wasn't never going to see him, and the fact that I never got to see him, and he sent me like signed Yankee hats and stuff, and I just didn't care because I wanted to see him. I wanted him to come see me play sports.
Yeah. Right.
You know, my mom would try to tell me like the story. I didn't really understand it and grasp it, but I was like, dude, like, he's not here, dude. So like, I'm not doing this. So then I just sat in my room and I got a little emotional, but it wasn't enough for me to be like, oh, dude. And she asked me if I wanted to go to New Jersey and see my other side of the family and go to the funeral. And I was like, no, I don't want to go. You know, and it wasn't nothing cold-hearted. It was just like, I don't feel like I can do that right now. You know, so I'm going to move on from that and just focus on what's here and, you know, at home.
That's a good
you know,
mindset, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know,
extent.
my mom, you know, has, you know, strongest lady I know, you know, it's just like, just been putting in all of the work. And, you know, I did the best that I could. And, like, it's just been just epic. So I started writing poetry. And I was writing poetry. She was like, you know, like, I know you got your guitar and stuff, but is there anything else that you want to, you know, venture into? And I was like, I don't know. I want to be able to record my guitars. I never can record my guitars. Like, we went to a garage and someone paid... I think the drummer at the time paid someone to record in the garage, and it was it was just bad.
Yeah, bad sound.
I didn't even hear my guitars in that tape. It was just a bunch of distortion.
Oh, God.
The drum, it was just horrible. And so, like, I was just like, man, like, we got to fix this. So my mom got me a laptop from her job. You know, she works in biochemistry and molecular genetics. I know it sounds like a lot, but shout out to all them. To that department. You know, and so it was just really epic. So she got me a laptop. Nothing crazy, you know,
just
and
basics.
Yeah, and you know, I had a guy, you know, who showed me the ropes with, you know, DAWs at the time. Digital audio workstation.
I was gonna say, dude, I have no idea what that is.
So as that was going on, you know, I was just starting to dabble with programs, and at the time it was Sony Acid Pro, and then I moved on from that to Cakewalk, you know, and so like
Cakewalk.
Yeah, exactly, you know, so exactly, you know, so like I started using that and recording my guitars, and I started figuring out they would come with these sound packs that would give you like loops to like drums and different genres and stuff. So I started dabbling with it. You know, that's what led to, you know, moving on from, you know, being in a rock band, playing as a lead guitarist and vocalist in a rock band, to, you know, starting to learn how to produce and all that stuff.
Wow.
And it really was. It really just was like, I was torn because I had my bandmates mad at me because now I was trying to focus on producing a little bit.
Right. There's always drama.
And then, like, you know, I kept it moving, but I had stopped for a little bit and just started, you know, I went into a metal band just to be a vocalist. I didn't play guitar. And then that was a different situation. But, yeah, it's been a fun ride, you know, so it's just been crazy.
Okay, so I'm going to take a few steps back and get into some stay or go decision making here. One question I wanted to clarify, though. Are you saying that you had never met your father in person, or you just hadn't in years or months seen him because he's in New Jersey?
I haven't seen him in years.
Okay.
And my mom moved from Virginia to Newark, New Jersey. And, you know, we were living up there, and I remember him as a kid, but, like, growing up, he wasn't there through, like, my childhood.
Right. Experiences
like,
and memories. And
stuff. I did meet him, but in my mindset, I didn't really get to meet him because it wasn't like he came down to Virginia when I was 12 and 13 years old and be like, hey, let's go get a burger. Let's, you know, go to a football game.
Yeah.
I don't really consider, so it's kind of a mixed bag. So, you know.
Okay. I was just curious because of so then you bring up the football stuff and how you wanted him to be, or you didn't want to do it if he wasn't going to see you play. So did you decide to play football based on, like, did you know that that was something he liked or always wanted a son to do? Or what was that?
I mean, my grandfather, he's a hardcore football fan. He's a Redskins fan, and, a Commanders fan.
They changed it.
He's a Washington Commanders fan. But no, it's, my grandfather saw the potential with me in sports and stuff, and at the time, they made me go to church a lot, and so we'd always be running around in the field, and I was always the fastest and most agile, and he'd say, you should try out for it. And it started with Pee Wee football.
Yeah.
So I started with Pee Wee, and, I moved up, and I just, progressed and just was, moving and just going at a crazy rate. And then I just got into it, once I got into middle school and stuff like that, I just started playing football. And then my mom was telling my dad, he was like, I'm going to come down to see my son play. He's going to be, he can go to college and, and do all of this and this.
Yeah.
And, being told that as a kid, you're like, you kind of have, kids have high expectations too.
Yeah.
So you expect, when a parent
says they're going to do something.
Says they're going to do something, and they make you a promise. They make you a promise. It's
kids
like.
take, and I, as an adult, take promises very seriously.
Dude, you have to, you just have to commit as a parent. And it's like, my mom was working like 2-3 jobs just to, support. And it's like, my dad was like, it was just crazy, dude. And, shout out to the single mothers and fathers out there, bro.
Heck
because
that's hard.
Shout out to y'all, man.
100% agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what he has told you about what I do, but I am a therapist with foster and adoptive parents. Shout out to them as well. Because they don't have to be doing what they're doing, but they are helping the babies that don't have parents that show up.
To that.
Cheers, water. Guys, water is great. No need for sugary drinks or alcohol to have fun. Anyway, so, I was just curious about, like, what it was about how that really affected you that day that you walked off the field because he wasn't there. Yeah. I didn't know if that was, like, he wanted you to be a football player, so you only played it until he passed.
Well, it was just kind of like a kill switch.
Yeah.
Because, like, once he passed and I had that last game, it was just like, I guess I kind of was trying to, like, shut it out, but I just couldn't do it because my emotions.
Yeah.
When you have a lot of emotion and you try to just,
you can't push them down.
Keep it in, like, it comes out at some point.
Yes.
And it just happened to come out on the field. I mean, I had, like, I remember I had, like, 7 catches. Like, and I was on my way to that touchdown, and I dropped the ball, and I literally caught it. Because you're taught to catch in a diamond shape. I caught it, brought it down, started. No one was around. I was open.
Yeah, you were going to be good.
I just dropped the ball, took my helmet off, and walked out the field.
Yeah.
Coach is yelling,
"What are you doing?"
Bess, what are you doing? Pick the ball up. So then, and everything else I just don't remember because it was just.
Right, it's blur. I
just didn't care. Like,
and that's the thing too. It's like it's a high school or whatever. You were 8th grade, or there's more important things in life, So it's okay. Yeah. But I'm sure, like, I don't know if people made you feel like crap the next day or something. Like, what were you doing?
It was just they were just like, yo, like, what was that? And I just told the coaches and everything. I was like, my dad passed away, so I can't do this.
Did anyone know?
Yeah, I mean, my mom broke the news to me when I got back to Charlottesville from Virginia Beach. Because I was at the beach and I was on spring break.
Oh, fun.
And so, like, it was just like, she didn't want to ruin my spring break. So she had to really,
she waited
keep things in. And then, like, I kept that in for a long time. And, like, once, football came around, I don't know why it was, like, during that last game. It was just like,
it's probably just a lot of emotions. Yeah. Also because it's a last game.
Yeah, maybe it was the last game and it was just like the last hurrah and that was it. But like I just knew that I wasn't going to be doing that again.
Well, thank you for sharing. I was just curious because that is a very, like, I don't know, interesting story of just walking off the field. Yeah. And then being like called to write poetry.
Yeah, I mean, I just, as a kid as well, like I just was listening to a lot of classical music and doing homework, and just like that was just my thing. I would sleep to it, wake up to it. My mom and them, they play R&B music all the time and all that cool jazz, but it's just like me, I was listening to classical music. That was just my thing. But at the same time, I also listened to rock, and stuff like that. And then watching TRL, Total Request. Like when I seen Korn for the first time, I was like, dude, I love them, dude, and I want to make music like that. So that was different too. And Blink-182. So it was just really different times, man. You just had to be there for it.
Yeah.
So it was just awesome.
I definitely want to get more into musical influences, but first, I always do this on my episodes with musical artists, and I almost forgot to do this.
Yeah.
How did you make your name Linz Prag from your name, from your actual government name?
Yeah. All right. So, starting my name, my producer name, because when you're in a rock band, you're just, that's Lorenzo, or Zoe's on guitar, Will's on the bass, or whatever.
Right. First name basis.
So it's never that. So coming up with a producer name, it took me a minute.
Yeah.
And I started out, and I'm saying this because it's funny.
Okay.
I started out, my first producer name was El Berna.
L? Like the letter L or E-L?
No, just
I
L.
it was like Spanish.
No.
L, E-L.
No, it was L and then Burna.
Okay,
So
I was going to say
Burna.
that. Burna.
So I was just like, and they were like, all right, oh my God. So that was my first producer name.
Okay.
And I went with that for like probably a few months.
Burn L's, bro?
Nah, yo. But after that, I was in government class.
Okay.
I was in government class, and my teacher, Miss Price, shout out to Miss Price, she really believed in me. And
shout out to teachers.
It was just like, I was looking at the maps because my desk was here. We had a row, rows of desks.
Oh yeah.
And then people have the globes and shit, and then you got the maps. So I was looking at the maps.
I know where this is going.
So I saw,
oh God,
the name Prague, which is in the Czech Republic, right? So I was like, all right. I wrote down quite a few. I wrote all different kind of stuff from Africa, Zimbabwe. I was like, all kind of stuff. I was just writing it down. So then Linz, which is in Germany, I wrote that down.
That is so funny.
So then I just started putting different things together. But then, I was like, I wasn't really sold on it at first. So I was like, what else can I do? What else can I do? What else can I do? And so I was writing them down, and they happened to be side by side, like Linz and then Pride. And this was while we're in a lesson, learning about like the government.
You
and the
are
branches
learning
and,
about where
so
the countries and things are geographically, though.
So
you're learning.
We're literally learning on a lesson about like the government branches and all of this different stuff.
Totally different than what you were doing.
So I'm like, all right. So then, I'm looking down and I see Linz Prag, and I'm like, I like the Linz, but I don't like how Prague is. So
the
I was
UG
like,
or UE at the end.
Yeah, so I took that off, and I wrote different, iterations of it. I wrote Lenz, Linz Prog, like, and I just didn't like it. So then I wrote Linz Prag. It's 8 letters. It's sick. It rhymes. And now I have to figure out how to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Because I'm not from none of those places.
Right. You have no connection to either. What?
How did you get your artist name, though?
Cam Hertz?
Yes.
So, okay.
Wait, finish the other one, though. Were you not done with how do you get them to connect?
Okay, so how I got them to connect was, both of these places are cities, right? Linz and Prague, Prague. So both of these places, I had to figure out, okay, Linz You see what's on my face? Glasses, right?
Yes.
Lens. So you see through this. You focus, you see, it makes your vision better. So I used it as Linz Prag basically stands for wherever I am at that point, I'm still watching over that city or looking out for that city in some sort of way.
Okay. Very eloquent.
You know, so it's just like, that's what it is.
So you have like some type of like mission or vision with your name.
Exactly.
Like a company.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really unique and it's just different. But
that's
like,
definitely a different story than what I've heard from everyone else.
And I feel like, it's just like, I've, as a electronic artist, the world is going to hear your stuff. So when people that are from Prague or from Linz, they're going to be like, yo, you're not even from here. Why are you using Prague? Or you're spelling our country, or you're doing a disservice to our country because you're American, or you're doing. It's like, dude, just like whatever. Like you might use Texas, like or something.
We can all share.
Like we can share, dude. Like
share
I'm
names.
showing love, but at the same time, I'm going to use this because that's who I am. So that's what that was.
I like that story.
As far as Cam Hertz goes, Hertz is within music. It's like a Hertz. HZ is a Hertz in music. So that's a different frequency in music. And Cam is like a camshaft, which is consistently moving in a vehicle or any kind of mechanical piece of, whatever and stuff. So it's like consistently moving pieces of music.
Wow.
In signals. Okay. So that's what that is. Because I knew going in as Cam Hertz, I was going to be doing different things at different frequency ranges. And Charles knows this because he sings at different frequency ranges. So when you do that, it's different types of hertz, whether you're mixing, producing, it doesn't matter. And that's what I made that name for.
Wow. I love that. So I thought, like, when I heard Cam Hertz, I was like, that's a pretty normal sounding name. Is that his actual government name? And it wasn't. So I was even more confused. Now I know everything. So everyone can understand now and respect it and feel like, wow, he really took the time to think about that
because people, what's funny is, and I never put it together, is like Hertz, the like truck company. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh my God, dude. Wow. Yeah. I never would have thought. What are the odds of that? Like, that's what it was. So it was just like really, really dope. But yeah, that's how Linz Prag and Cam Hertz
came to be.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I want to get into Stergo. We've gotten to know each other a little bit, or I've gotten to know you probably more than you've gotten to know me. But so I want to talk about the bulk of these episodes are when you decided to make a decision to stay in something or to go from something. So is there anything in particular, a memory, experience, a time that comes to mind where you had to make a decision like that?
Yes. Okay. Just like one of my exes, basically, she needed me to help her with moving. So it was just like, because let me break this down. Long distance relationships are like uncharted waters at times, because it's like when you do them, one of those people are going to feel a certain type of way at some point.
They don't work, in my opinion.
Exactly.
You said the word X, so we know it doesn't work.
It was coming to that point because I was in Georgia at the time.
Okay.
She was in Boston at the time. So it's like...
And she was moving to where?
She was moving from... Actually, no, sorry. She was from Charlottesville. Moving to Boston, so...
Moving further away.
So, just to let you know, I had to help her move to Boston, to Berkeley, music school.
Well, that's pretty cool.
It's cool. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, but...
That's a lot to
jumping
ask.
on the Amtrak for 12 hours.
Oh, that's how we got into
so,
this
like,
earlier.
Honestly, that whole situation and how it unfolded had to go. You know, and it's just like,
But so you did it. You decided to do it.
Yes, I decided to do it.
But you wish that you
I wish
didn't.
that I didn't.
It's a go learn.
Yeah.
It should go, but I learned from it.
It should go.
Okay.
Because like to find out that you put in this work, and I put in a lot of work. So like, you know.
So at this point though, you were still together.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, there was a whole spiel of apologies and this, because one of my homies that was a barber, you know, in Charlottesville was like, "Yo, Linz." I was like, "Oh my God." He's like, "Yo, Linz, I think your girl's talking to one of these like trainer dudes." And I'm like, "All right, let me figure this out," because you know people might, you know. People are vindictive sometimes. They don't like to see you do good sometimes. So when you move away, they might see it as an opportunity to mess with your vibe.
Oh, we've talked about stuff like that.
So you know, I said, hold that thought. I get back on the I get back on the Amtrak, dude. Another 12 hours back. So my mom's like, "You were just here like 2 weeks." Like,
yeah, why are you doing this
what's
again?
going on? And so I said, I need to find something out. So, you know, I found what I need to know. And it was like, all right. So we needed to meet in person and sort that situation out. And I was like, all right, you know what? Well, I think it would be best if you just did your own thing now. Because this isn't working. And we're not going to. And now I got more ammunition to make better music. So I appreciate you for that. Shout out to you for that. Because now.
Shout out to breakups.
That right there. You know, really definitely fuels a lot. You know, so like and I feel like I fell into this whole like realm of inconsistent people that I couldn't trust. Like, that's just
And
weird.
you're saying since you moved to Atlanta. Yeah.
But yeah, that whole situation is, it was a lesson, but I wish it would go.
So how long were you together at that point? Like, obviously you met in your hometown, I'm assuming. And then you moved here. So how long were you doing long distance before that you broke up?
So we were together probably about 2 years.
Okay.
You know, we did like the Mentos challenge. That was when like what was the
what challenge?
Yeah, exactly.
The what?
Like the Mentos challenge where you put the Mentos in the Coke.
Okay.
It's
random. No, but you're saying that's the time frame of when you were dating.
That was when
everyone else will understand.
So that was the man, dude, I know I'm getting old now. So you remember the app where everyone was on it and they would post clips?
Vine?
Yes,
that was
around
Vine.
that era. So like everyone was just trying to do silly
like 2012.
Shit. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
That was then, yeah.
It's a good time frame.
Yeah, she was there for that, all that, and like, yeah, dude, that was different. So
it's a go.
Yeah.
Helping your long distance partner move even further away from
that
sounds like a silly thing.
And the thing was, I was getting calls like, "What are you doing? This wasn't when Find My was like a super big thing, because there are relationships that they throw Find My on and you're like, where are you at right now?" Like my mom, she hits me up. When she sees me in a place that she's not familiar with, she's like, "Son, are you okay?" She tries to FaceTime. I'm like, "Mom, geez, I love you to death, but I'm good." But at the same time, she's just trying to check on my well-being. But then you got those overbearing relationships where they're like,
"Yeah,
yo, you're at what?"
I feel like at first,
road?
Yeah, I feel like at first you didn't want to share your location with me when we first started that. I can't remember, but I have all of my friends. I have my mom and dad's location. It's like a caring thing on my.
I didn't have an iPhone.
Maybe that was it first. No, I know in the beginning, but I didn't always share mine until I lost my phone once. And I didn't have any of that on, and my parents didn't have any of that. But once I lost a phone and had to get a new one, I was like, I'm getting on this Find My iPhone now with everybody.
Find My to me, like, because I'm in Apple beta development programs. So, you know, I've been in there for a few years. And I test all the betas for the iPhones before they even drop. I see schematics
that's cool.
for in iPhones, all this stuff before it even drops. So
wow,
we get all of that in the program, so it's awesome.
So you've tested. You know what else I love is when I park my car somewhere
and
I can't remember, and you just go to park the car, and
I intentionally did that. So I could test the accuracy of the location.
Yeah.
And it's, at first it was like hit or miss, but it's so precise now. Like it's just really good. As far as Find My as well, because if I, see where my mom is, it's got where it's blinking green. It's like you see someone. It's kind of like,
creepy.
damn, let me get off of here because this is like, like I don't want to see my mom walking around the town somewhere. Like, I know she's good. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, my mom. Like,
no.
Nah, dude. But I think that...
No, but it's very precise.
Yeah, it is very good. And honestly, it has helped me, when I needed to find my phone. Like, because like, doing laundry is not really one of my favorite things to do, but I do it. And I have thrown my phone in the laundry. Because I keep my phone in my hoodie. I wear a lot of hoodies, so...
It's in the front pocket.
And I throw it in the laundry because I'm tired.
Yeah. I feel.
But I'm laying in bed. I might have my MacBook and I'm on there, but I'm like, yo, where's my phone, yo? And I'm like, oh no, it might be in a. So I hit it on my MacBook and I'm like, oh, okay, so it's somewhere around here. But now they have a new feature to where if you lose your phone, there's like this orange, this I don't know why I just mixed those colors up like that. But there's this green circle and a little white dot, and and when you get closer, your devices they vibrate and do all this crazy cool stuff.
Helpful.
Even on silent, because people are
we
notorious
always have it on silent.
for keeping,
so I always look it up that way.
People are notorious for keeping it on silent.
Nate, always.
Yeah, so it's like, damn, can you call my phone? It's on silent.
Yeah, always.
Well, I have like the two.
No, now we have it because there was also an issue the one time where in our apartment last year, he was out late at Mighty's house. Have you met Mighty? Ty? No, he wasn't at the cook cabin? Okay. Well, you were with Dubby and Ty, Mighty, at Mighty's house, making music, and I had left a little bit earlier. It was a party. We went to a party in May, I think. I don't know. Anyway, I came home first, and I locked the door. I would have kept it open, but he told me never keep the door unlocked if you're by yourself in Atlanta, which, of course, makes sense.
That's true. I always tell Sarah that, too.
Yeah, so I was in bed, asleep. It was 2 a.m., and he was banging on the door for 30 minutes because I had the keys that night because I drove. He got a ride home from Dubby that night.
I didn't even bang on the door. I was just ringing the doorbell.
Oh, I was ringing it like crazy, and I didn't hear it.
Neighbors to
And I didn't hear it for 30 minutes, and he had texted me a million times, had called me 5 times, but it was on silent, and we didn't have that thing on, whatever it is, the... what?
Double thing.
I don't know what it's...
After a certain hour.
Right,
Call twice.
Yeah.
Whatever that's called. It's not the do not disturb, but it's the opposite of that. It's disturb me if I don't answer
do
after 2.
Do not disturb has hung up a lot of people. That's one thing, people have always, voiced their concern about do not disturb, because sometimes it's an
emergency.
And I always tell everyone, put emergency contacts.
Right.
Or put the people that you know that are going to call you.
Right.
If you have producers or people that you know for situations that are going to be serious, or your mom or your grandfather, they might have a fall and they might call you.
Right.
This isn't I've fallen and I can't get up situation. This is they might call you before they call someone across town because they can't. So it's good to keep those 5, 6, 7 people in that. Yeah. So when they call you and it's on do not disturb, you're trying to get rest, it's going to ring. And when it rings, it's something. So that's what I tell. And encourage people.
So wait, so what? Do you work for something Apple related, as your full-time job? Or
no, I'm not. That's not my full-time job. I build custom PCs.
Oh.
And now, for myself, I'm also selling loot packs now and production. So, it's just something that's really dope that I'm doing now. And I did work, I was, doing the other kind of stuff. I was working for Apple support for a while, and that was very interesting. I had to deal with a lot of madness with it, but I was in the toppest tier, which is tier 2, and all the calls that people couldn't deal with in tier 1. I had to deal with it. So they were like,
yay.
Yo, so basically the first support agent couldn't get my phone unlocked. So you're going to get it unlocked. Because they told me that
you're the guy.
So you're the guy. So now I'm like, okay, let's see what we got going on. Oh, you don't know your passcode. So if you don't know your passcode, you're not getting in that phone. Wow. I don't care if you're the president. You're not getting in that phone. If you don't know the passcode.
There's no other way out?
No way. You have to reset the device. And if you don't got it backed up to iCloud, then good luck to you. I
hate iCloud, though. I don't understand it. If you could, maybe off air, because I'm sure it's a lot. Yeah. Please explain to me where all my photos go and how I would be able to go and look back at them, because so many things are saved to the cloud. Yeah. And I don't know how to access the cloud.
The most important thing to do is update your phone and make sure that you got your stuff backed up to the cloud.
Again,
we can discuss more about that.
But like, am I right, people? Who freaking knows what happens with iCloud? I don't know. I just know that it says your storage is full. You need to delete space for iCloud, and I'm like, what? Yeah. Okay. Was there any other Stergo situations in your life that you want to talk about that made maybe a big impact in your life, or you're happy you stayed, or you're happy you went? Because I always have to use the past tense of that. Go. You can't say goed. It sounds stupid.
Oh my God. So, I am happy that I left my hometown.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that.
Move for a better opportunity with, music and just overall different change of scenery.
Right. So much more stuff.
Because don't get me wrong, like the Blue Ridge Mountains in Charlottesville are beautiful.
I'm sure.
You get to experience all 4 seasons.
Mm-hmm. That's my hometown too.
I do miss the snow sometimes, but it's like
I've been missing it.
It's like it would be nice to have a
little flurry,
dusting, or,
right?
An inch or so, but we just get a lot of rain.
Right, and I heard like places literally close and shut down when there is snow here. Yeah. And I really want to experience a day off because of the snow in Atlanta.
I was here when they had Snowmageddon in Atlanta. And that was like crazy because I was living in Marietta and I left my apartment to go to the Walmart around the corner. Literally took me an hour.
Oh my God.
So
it's insane. That's the biggest con. It's just the driving and the traffic.
Literally were stuck on the highway and had to spend the night in their vehicle.
How about last year? Remember, it got to -5.
And the frozen pipes burst in like the malls. Yeah.
Dude, that was
kind of an army.
We were worried because we had literally just left for like our Christmas holiday back home in Pennsylvania. And we're like, did our apartments like pipes burst? We were so worried.
Yeah, dude,
luckily
I saw
nothing.
Lots of videos.
Mm-hmm. Lennox Mall, Lennox Square Mall or whatever.
I remember that.
I remember seeing the videos and we were panicked, but luckily.
Oh my goodness.
Because,
a bunch of apartments in our complex.
Yeah, but not ours. Thank you.
Whoa.
They made a list.
That'd be the last thing we needed.
Thank God we weren't on the list.
Yeah. We got lucky with that one.
People left for Christmas and turned their heat off.
Yeah. You can't.
It's -5, bro. -5 is crazy.
Dude, Georgia,
it's so insane. Cold. It's going to be 10 degrees next week. I'm not looking forward to it.
Here?
Yes, I just said it's next Wednesday. The low is 10 and the high will be like 29.
Sound like money to me.
Yeah, okay. This isn't about you. Anyway. Okay, so... But leaving your hometown, totally understand. Because especially when you're in such a small town, like, I love my hometown, and I say it all the time.
Yeah.
And I go back, and I see family and friends, but I don't want to live there until I die.
Yeah, no. Like, I being the only person out of my family to be in Georgia, it was scary.
Oh, definitely.
But, like, I realized, like, okay, I got this. Mm-hmm. And, like, I got to figure out how I can... just harness all of this confidence and just, certainty that I'm going to be able to do something with this, you know, and there's been times where they've had to help me, and I've just been like struggling and figuring things out. And the reason I say ex-roommate is because I'm not going to mention that kid's name because of the fact that we were both moving down here for a mission of music, and like he's an incredible R&B singer, but like when you wake up one morning, a normal day, you wake up one morning and you go out in the living room and you start freaking out, like everything's gone except for whatever you had. So first thing that I thought, I was like, oh snap, we got robbed. But then I realized, wait, my TV's still mounted on the wall. So why wouldn't they take that? You know, like, would it make too much noise, or
it was
they're not smart enough? Like, what, you know, what's going on? So to realize all of his stuff was gone. So I wake up to an apartment that we're both on a lease.
How many more months were left?
I think it was like, I want to say 1.5.
This is like so parallel to Betrayal's
you know,
episode.
So it was like, this happened, and I was like, calling his phone. I was like,
he's just up in line.
I was like, his mom was so diabolical, bro.
Oh.
She was like, I don't know.
Okay.
But it was like, I'm like, yo. I'm like, and he didn't answer the phone. So one of my homies had a crib in Buckhead, and I was telling him my situation. I was like, bro, like, I gotta get out of this apartment. Like, I don't know what to do, man. Like, he's like, yo, just pull up to Buckhead, man. Like, you can crash here. So,
so you're trying to stay somewhere else because you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I didn't know,
and was worried to stay at the apartment.
And we got a note saying that you know, the rest of the rent has been paid.
Oh.
Which is fine. That's cool, but
that's
it's like
good at least.
It's like yo, like the fact that I got like, to keep it a buck, my credit wasn't really that great then. So trying to renew that lease won't go happen by myself. You know. Right. Now, could I ask my mom or my grandfather or my grandmother to co-sign? Yeah. Right. But I was like, on this mission, I'm like, dude, like, that was just unforgivable. So I'm gonna figure something else out. This is a bad memory now.
Yeah.
This is tainted. I gotta move on.
Yeah.
So I'm like calling around, and at this point, I'm just learning how to DJ. Oh. Cool. So like, you know, move out of there. I go get a U-Haul van because I didn't have that much stuff. I had a
no more tarp.
I had a no more tarp. I had a futon from IKEA. I had
love IKEA.
the dad. I don't love IKEA. I'll tell you about that.
I don't have anything in this house that's actually from IKEA besides fake plants. Yeah,
but I do like their fake plants. But I'm gonna tell you a story about IKEA in a second. But no, like, I had that, and you know, all of that stuff got put into the U-Haul van. And so then me and my homie, we got it all to Buckhead, got unpacked. It was a fly-like house. It was huge. You know, it was fly. You know, so
positive vibes for new place.
Yeah. So, you know, it was a bit more expensive, but it was cool. You know, I paid it.
You're in a good spot.
Yeah, so it was straight, you know, just convenient for everything. And I was just like, dude, like, this is gonna rock. I'm closer to the city now. I can get more opportunities with shows, all this stuff. So all that happened, and you know, back to that was just a situation that just was, it just had
you
it was
went
just a good moment.
Definitely
you know?
went from that.
Yeah, but I'm just glad to be able to, you know, get out of Charlottesville, because there's a lot of people there that have a lot of potential and talent that are they're just too comfortable.
Right, and not doing anything.
You know,
with
so
it.
like when you're too comfortable, that's a problem. You know, so like I just had to, I put myself in so many uncomfortable situations that when I am comfortable, I feel like something is wrong.
Yeah.
So
Which isn't always
but it's
great.
not always, you know, like, it's like, you know, like,
You don't want to feel like you know everything, like you've done everything, and you're just chilling.
Like if I know that there's something up there and I can go get it, and I'm chilling and I'm playing PS5, I'm like, yo, I'm too comfortable right now. This is like, there's a time and place for that. Like, I got my separated time for whatever.
Right. For play.
Exactly. Now, real quick to go back to the IKEA.
Oh, yeah.
So, IKEA is a great place.
It is.
For staging houses.
Yes. It's a stay for staging and a go for actual living.
When me and my wife got together, like, we got a crib, and like there was this bed, and I was on the IKEA app looking, and I signed up, and I was like, yeah, they got, because I love meatballs to death. Like,
oh yeah, the Swedish meatballs.
So they had the Swedish meatballs there, and so like they had this bed. It was a queen size. It had like the top shelf piece with the sides you could put your storage to your phones and stuff. It looked really fly. It had the drawers you can pull out. It was called like the Flirgen Flogging Flish. I don't know how they name their stuff crazy. Yeah. So I had got a cold, and my wife had sciatica at the time. So we're putting this bed together, and come to find out, the instructions were like not straight ahead and straightforward.
They're just like pictures of it. Yeah, it's like
they're cool pictures. It's great illustration, but to explain step 1 to step 5 in the same sequential step is difficult.
Yes.
So it's like,
unless you're an architect.
Exactly. So I'm very knowledgeable and stuff. So like it's like, oh, I got this. I know what's going where, and I got all the tools here, and we get half of it put together, and it's missing parts. They're like, oh, and you need to have... So on the bed, there's these flat, like, pallet pieces that before you put the mattress on. I didn't have those. So I'm like, oh my God, like, I got to go back to IKEA now and get this part and this part.
Yeah.
I was missing like 3 weeks.
I forgot that IKEA is like putting it all together yourself.
And,
so yeah, I don't
and IKEA uses a lot of particle board, which is like, over the time, it gets really weak. You spill water on it, it's over with.
Oh, well, that's going to happen all the time.
Yeah, and it warps like any kind of bookshelf type thing. Just don't something crazy on it. Because I had got one of the shelves from there. It was like, it looked really modern. It was a white one. And I put it up with these stands. And I put my TV on it.
And it fell down.
It collapsed invertedly. I was like, dude, how did that happen?
Oh, that's scary.
That was crazy, but yeah, that's my little spiel.
IKEA needs to go.
It's like I said, it's great for staging houses. It's great
to stage and looking at the stuff and the way you just flow through it, and it has a one way and it makes sense. Yeah. I totally get it.
Yes.
So, speaking of stay or go situations, we have some that my man came up with some for you specifically. Okay. And I would like to see what your thoughts are on these.
Okay.
So, this is my favorite part of these.
Rapid fire.
It's like, rapid fire. I mean, you can explain yourself if you would like, but just initial reaction, what you're going to say to this thing. Okay, we've already talked about one of these, so I'm going to skip that. But, Star Wars, stay or go?
Of course stay.
Of course stay. So can you tell the viewers what very big day in your life you had Star Wars themed?
Yeah, my wedding was Star Wars themed. And I was dressed as like a Sith Lord. I had the custom like robe and the custom satchel and the pants and the boots.
And the lightsabers.
And the lightsaber. I got 2 lightsabers. He's seen one, but I got a real crazy one.
What would be great if you could do this before your episode drops, which would be like around end of January, February. Doesn't matter. It's coming out. Sorry. It would already be out by the time they hear this. That was dumb. Anyway, you can cut that. Could you like send him pictures or me pictures in DMs if you feel comfortable?
Yeah.
For like when I share like your episode, I could put like those for reference.
Of course. Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put it right there.
It put him right up here. No, like not like crazy editing, but I could make like a reel or something.
Not crazy editing.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
We'll put it right up there.
We'll do Star Wars wedding theme photos right here. So what did your wife do for her outfit or dress?
She didn't really want a wedding because she's so recluse, and she was like, so.
You're like, I wish Jenna didn't want to have a wedding.
Had this whole like thing in her mind, like she's like, oh, because I'm an only child, and that like I guess it would be like OCS, only child syndrome. It's like she wanted, being the only child, grandmother, grandma, grandpa, mom, aunties, all that stuff. My mom wanted this grand wedding with like a church and a tuxedo and best. I'm like, yo, I don't even know if my friends are even gonna come down here for this.
Right.
So like, I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do yet. So, I was talking to Sarah about it. I was like, what do you want to do? Like, she was like, let's just get married at the house. It's big enough. We got all of the space. We can just, do something cool. She wanted to do Nightmare Before Christmas. And I was like, I don't want to do that one.
I'm always like so scared of things. I never liked, who's the creator of
Tim Burton?
Tim Burton stuff freaks me out.
I got a song and I always say, and I said something like, this session's dead. It's bleeding Tim Burton red, because Tim Burton has a certain way that
blood comes out.
It's like almost like Play-Doh-y.
Oh yeah,
it's like this real. That's how all of his blood scenes are. That's what that is. But she said that, and then we went. I think we discussed Harry Potter because she's a super.
I love.
She's
Harry
a Hufflepuff.
Potter.
I'm a Slytherin. That's how the houses are split. That's the end of that conversation. So
Done deal.
I said, what about Star Wars? She's like, ooh, yeah, that would be kind of cool. And I was like, who would you be? I was like, and she said, I was like, Princess Leia? She's like, I don't really want to do my hair like that.
Yeah.
I said, you could get a wig. I was like, I don't really want to get a wig. And I'm like, all right. And so she was like...
I was Princess Leia in 4th grade.
She was like, I like Rey.
Rey's cool?
And I was like, okay. So she got the Rey costume, and she had like the staff, and
also Rey really, last year for Halloween.
She it was just epic. I just look like this like sinister. I'm in all black. I got like my red lightsaber. I could change the lights on it, dude. And I'm standing there like this, and I got my robe with the big, Anakin Skywalker hood on it. It was so sick.
Epic.
Too. It was definitely, cool, and it was just a time. You just had to be there for it. Like,
what year did you get married?
We got married.
Oh God!
Oh, no, wait,
Don't listen to this, Sarah.
No. Oh my God! No, we got married in it's what 2020.
It's 2024 right now.
Yeah, we got married in 2021. We're married for 2 years.
Yes. Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yo, oh my God. She's gonna listen to this and be
she's
like,
gonna be
like, bro.
Nah, you're like me. Like the.
He was trying to do the math now that it's 2024.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because it's like, like that joint, like, is real. Sometimes that stuff can. I got it written down on my phone still. Ring size, shoe size, dress size, like, so I know, like,
you got your things,
You know what I'm saying? Like, all that, dude.
So fun, little, whatever you want weddings stay, and traditional weddings go. Yeah.
I think that everyone shouldn't be so tethered to being married in a church or being or do what you feel,
right?
Because,
or wearing what you're supposed to wear.
The mother's going to more than likely, or if the mother's not around, next of kin, someone's going to run the bride side and try to throw all of it together, and of course the father's going to fund it. So it's like,
not always.
That's true. Not always.
Not always.
But it's like, for us, my wife's dad, my father-in-law, he gifted us a brand new fence for our house. So I was like, dude, you don't have to pay for a wedding. Like, you gifted us a fence, bro. Like, that's crazy. Because we bought our first house in 2021. So like, dude, it was just like, dude, like, it was just crazy, man. Like, to just do that. And so, like, I just feel like people, if you want to have a Power Rangers themed wedding, do it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's one day. Power Rangers is my number one favorite thing. Like, in our bedroom, I have every single Power Ranger Funko Pop that dropped.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
And that was not I did not intend on rhyming that. So
I never got into Power Rangers.
I was the pink Power Ranger in preschool Halloween. I watched Power Rangers. So I was going to ask, he has on here action figures. Stay or go?
Stay.
Okay. So would you consider one of those, what did you call it? What are they called?
Funko Pops?
Yeah. Are they considered an action figure?
No, they don't have like they don't have. All right, so here's the thing. I'm an avid collector with action figures. Now, you have regular action figures, and I mean like Target or, Walmart action figures that have like maybe 15 points of movement. That mean the arm can go like this, twist.
Yeah.
Now, I have custom Iron Man, Spider-Man. My Spider-Man has 1,000 points of articulation because he's very flexible, which means he can bend all the way back. His legs can go above his head. His
he can
hands,
get in
his
the
fingers
position.
can do this. They have the retractable webs. My Iron Man can do probably, I want to say 400 because he can do the repulsor blasters. He can close his fists. His face
Nate's
plate.
Like, what?
It's really a big. Shout out to Hot Toys because, dude, this thing like it's really really a big community for collectors.
How much what's the most you ever spent on an action figure? Because I'm gonna get upset.
So I'm still waiting on my Thanos. It's been about 2 years now.
Okay. Are you in like a Facebook group or something? Like
yeah.
Yeah.
But my Thanos, I still haven't gotten him yet. Okay. And he was about 600. But the Iron Man, my die-cast Iron Man from Iron Man 3, the Mark 42, that one ran me $900. Hold on. I have one on the way with Iron Man in his, I think it's the first or the second movie, he's in the machine. It comes with the machine. It comes with Jarvis and this like beam thing. It's a whole scene.
Oh, wow.
It's like $2,300.
And if you sold...
They appreciate it.
Right. If you sold all of it in like a year, your collection thus far, how much money would you make?
Well, now...
Or yeah, I guess you'd be
So here's the thing. So action figures like that are... I call them movable pieces of art. Because at that point, it's not a toy. Even though they say it's a toy, it's not a toy.
Right.
Like, my kids would never... I would never buy them that type. I would buy them the one
cheap
from
ones from Walmart,
Mattel, or something like that.
Shout out Barbie.
But I'm not going to spend $300-$400 on an action figure with
toy.
Like my Spider-Man has like real clothes. Like I have different Peter Parkers. I have Tobey Maguire.
I was gonna ask.
I have Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland. Yes. I have all three.
And could you tell me who is your favorite Spider-Man? If you could pick. Do you have or rank them? Could you rank? Like 1, 2, 3?
Okay, so all right. This is just like Batman. So it's
true.
So it's like who's the better Bruce Wayne and who's the better Batman? Because they're Michael Keaton was good at both. Because of his neutral acting. He was good at both.
Okay.
Christian Bale, he was a good Bruce Wayne. But his Batman, I loved it. I loved the Dark Knight. Like that whole, like that Christopher Nolan, that was my favorite. But like I feel like the best overall Batman, Honestly, I would have to say probably Ben Affleck.
Really?
Because of the fact that just
controversial.
Just hear me out. No,
I have no idea.
The way that Ben Affleck was in Batman versus Superman was just so true to the comics. It was just like how he was as Bruce Wayne and his Batman character,
right?
And how he did like all of that. But at the same time, I'm not gonna put George Clooney into this guy.
So you're saying people that I didn't even know played Batman.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, Ben Affleck. Oh, you haven't even mentioned Heath Ledger
and Val Kilmer. And Batman.
Did you see? I'm assuming you saw the most recent Batman with Rob Pattinson, or did you not see that?
Yeah. Now that's
controversial.
No, so he is an amazing young Batman.
Oh, it's
not
a different
adult
time
not
frame.
The adult. That's a comic book.
Right.
Him
Before
coming
the Joker stuff.
Him coming of age, growing it. Because if you look at his suit, it's not tailored correctly. His outfit is different.
Yeah.
Like the vibe is more gothic. He's more like aggressive.
Yeah. He
towards like, and I loved it.
It was.
That's
spooky.
one of my movie wise. I love that
good.
one above.
Yeah.
All of them.
It was good.
But as far as Batman and Bruce Wayne in unison in a movie, Ben Affleck has done a surprisingly good job. Because Christian Bale, when you're talking, where is it? Like, why are you gonna put on a voice that's like you? When you're Batman, you have a voice box. So when you try to make your voice like that to this guy, that's just
kooky.
But I love that because, dude, Bane was my favorite.
Really?
And Heath Ledger. Those dude.
Heath Ledger's my favorite.
Yeah, Heath Ledger, dude, phenomenal.
Rest in peace.
Like, dude.
Loved him.
But also Joaquin Phoenix, though, his singular origin story Joker is really good.
That's a lot of...
The musical coming out, though, a lot of people are going to not like it because it's a musical.
I didn't know there's a musical.
Yeah, him and Lady Gaga. That's the sequel.
Oh, yes. I did briefly.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, now she has to see it.
Oh, I'm not like a diehard Lady Gaga, but I appreciate
my wife
her.
is.
Yeah, she's cool. I like her. I've always liked her since Just Dance.
The thing is, it's going to be a musical, but it's going to be more violent. So it's like they're gonna probably be singing and murdering.
Nice.
So
fun.
And she's playing as a Harley Quinn. So it's like
she definitely I could see that.
It's going to be a great film.
It is.
You know, so I love movies. Like I'm always going to see movies like that. Yeah.
I'm bringing it back for this last Stay or Go because we're gonna bring it back to music and then we're gonna talk about what your ats and all that are. Movie musicals, Stay or Go.
Movies stay, musicals go.
Oh, and you're a music person?
Yeah.
And you don't like musicals? No, I'm just a diehard musical person.
So I will say this: Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yes,
is like,
Hamilton. In the Heights.
So In the Heights was my favorite.
We saw it last year.
My wife watches Hamilton a lot, and that's the name of our dog.
Oh, really?
His name is Hamilton.
Shout out
Winston
Hamilton.
Merriweather Best. That's his name. So regal, right?
Right. Wow.
So he's a grand old boy, man. He's like he's a Great Dane mix. That's my dog.
So only Lin-Manuel Miranda musicals. I totally respect that.
But because the way that he does it in his actors and the way that he breaks out, and the cadences and stuff like that is just so well done, you know. But I do like some other Disney stuff.
High School Musical.
I have never seen that, but I do like some other musicals. You know,
Camp Rock.
So, haven't seen that.
Oh, my heart's breaking.
But
it's understandable.
I just like Nightmare Before Christmas. That's
And I never saw that, so
what's this? What's this? You know, it has this. I've sampled it a million times.
Oh, cool.
That's just my favorite, one of my favorites. But most of the Tim Burton films, besides like Batman and stuff, the animated ones are musicals. Oh. Like Sweeney Todd.
I do know that, yeah.
You know, like
I've never seen it.
Corpse Bride.
I've heard of that.
I want to say James and the Giant Peach That's a music. All of those, because they're all those are all sequenced, animated musical movies. So, in that sense, those ones would stay. Mm-hmm. But essentially, they have to go.
I really like the new one with Anthony Ramos.
Yeah, that's In the Heights. Dude.
Yeah, In the Heights is In the Heights is a great movie.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Movie.
But like, I enjoyed Encanto.
I loved Encanto.
That was,
West Side Story.
And West Side Story was
the best.
He loved seeing that in theaters.
The shots, as somebody who has shot music videos.
Yeah.
It was crazy good.
That's
and we love Rachel Zegler.
Like,
shout out.
So
yeah.
And Hunger Games. Snakes and Songbirds. So good too. I don't know if you saw it over the
My
week.
wife actually, she was in extra in one of the Hunger Games.
What?
And she was also an extra in the Divergent series.
Can she come on the pod?
I'll
That's
ask
so
her.
cool.
I'll ask her if she would do it because she's a super crazy artist. Like she does like pouring and acrylic paint. She does all
that's
stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, so.
We were literally like his family was just here for New Year's weekend because we went to the Peach Bowl.
Yeah.
And his sister and him like binged the Hunger Games after seeing the prequel that just came out over the break, and she wanted to see all the Hunger Games things that were like filmed here.
Yeah.
And so we went to Snow's house in Buckhead.
It became like one of my favorite franchises.
Yeah.
I never actually seen it. I just seen clips.
Yeah, she was also in Neighbors and Neighbors too. She was in the party scenes.
That's so fun.
She said like she met Seth Rogen and she had like it was a real like he had some it was and so like it was just really dope. Like she was also in The Duff. She
designated ugly fat friend.
Yeah,
I saw that with my designated ugly fat friends and myself being the Duff.
She was the extra in The Duff, but she has a lot of pictures with her in her uniform and uniforms and crazy gear and like The Duff. She had this flaming red hair with like these cut off shorts like in this like overalls.
To see this. That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's
if she wants.
I'm sure she definitely be interested in this because cool. she definitely is into this type of stuff. So.
I love it. Okay, well, shout out to her, Sarah. Would love to have you on. Now, could you shout out your ats for people to find you online, or if they want to reach out for beats, what can they do?
Yeah, so my ats are basically Linz Prag because it's pretty much the only thing.
Spell it out again.
LINZ PRAG,
Got it.
And then that's on, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of the and any and everything.
Because it's so unique. No one else has that name, I'm sure.
And also, I didn't speak about it, but I also have a producer beat battle podcast that we do every Thursday, which is... we do every other Thursday, and it's for the producers.
Oh gosh!
But it's all good. They know that I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
So
that's cool.
And shout out to Sandman and Nightlife of the Gauntlet. This all started in the pandemic. It was just me and Sandman, and we had a laptop. We went online. Someone reposted it. It had like 19,000 people in the stream one time. Then we started a showcase online. Then we moved on to deep diving on Reddit, how to do direct audio and figuring all that to play the sound like you're there.
People
but you're
love tutorials, myself included.
So
not on that, but I'm crocheting.
It was awesome, and now it's grown so big that we have sponsors, and I have to shout out our sponsors: Native Instruments, Isotopes.
That's awesome.
Wit Audio.
I want sponsors.
It's just shout out to Creative Space, Jay Hatch over at Creative Space. So
awesome.
We are very excited moving. We're in season 5 right now.
Wow.
So tonight is the Champions Battle.
Shout out.
We
Go
got
check
the
that out.
producers. We're every show we always give away over $1,000 in prizes.
Gotta get on there.
And they walk away. So we encourage producers of all walks of nature to, join. Wow. And that's at the Gauntlet. So it's, the Gauntlet.
That's just a website?
It's on everything.
Okay.
So you go to the Gauntlet Instagram. We have a link tree. You click on that link tree and it'll direct you to everything.
Awesome. I will be putting that in the bio description.
We've had more than 15 Grammy Award winning guest judges on this show.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely been an experience.
Awesome.
So.
Well, you've been a lot of fun to have on today, and I learned a lot about you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing. This
has been a pleasure. Like, I've been waiting to do this, like for a minute now. Just seeing the past episodes and listening to them, this is just going to grow even bigger. I don't think you guys know what you have here.
You've kind of gone through it now with your own. Season 5, so you understand the process.
Man, I'm telling you, like, going through those seasons and getting, like, the special guests, it's like, man, I was like, man, it would be really cool if I popped up with, like, Sunny Digital or DJ Spins here and just surprise the hell out of him or something. But it's like, them guys are always busy. So it's just like, but at some point.
Right. That's just something to look forward to.
We can get something on another episode. I want to spread this.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, yeah.
All right. Awesome. Like, follow, subscribe, rate, review the Stay or Go podcast on all platforms.